In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use SPSS to compute basic descriptive statistics on a single distribution of data as well as distributions of data for two different groups. Now, as is true with most aspects of SPSS, there are multiple ways to do the same things. Sometimes you get more information, sometimes you get less information. It really is going to depend, one, on what kinds of information you need, and two, what kinds of information your instructor is requesting from you. So first, if you need to review how to enter data, please see the previous tutorial video on that. But here are the same set of scores from the previous video of exam scores for 20 students across two classes. Of course, these are hypothetical scores. But the very first thing is, once you have all of your data entered into your data view, the place where you're going to find basic descriptive statistics, this is the first way, and we're going to do basic descriptive statistics for all exam scores combined, regardless of which class you're in or the students were in. So if we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and go to Descriptives, once you click on this, you'll get a little dialog box here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our exam scores, which is our measure, okay, and we're going to drop that into the variable list. If you click on Options, you can define specific parts of your descriptives that you might want. So let's, by default, you've got mean, standard deviation, you've got a minimum, a maximum. You're likely computing variance at some point, so you can click variance. You can get your range, which is a fairly, insensitive measure of variability. You can also get a standard error of the mean. You can choose kurtosis and skewness if you want, but that's not so important at this point. And another function will give you all of this in one foul swoop. Once you do that, you can click Continue, and you can click OK. And by doing this, you get the basic bare bones statistics that you wanted for that single set of exam scores, not separated up by groups. So you get how many scores you have in your distribution, that's 20, your range, minimum, maximum. Here is your mean of the data set, standard error of the mean, standard deviation, and your variance for those scores. Now, if you have an instructor who would like some more data, more information, there is another way to do it. I am partial to this method because you can get everything all at once, and then you select what the information is that you need for how you're approaching your data. So if you go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics Explore, you can do a similar thing where you take your exam scores, which is what you're measuring, so you're going to drop that into your dependent list. If you click on Statistics, you can choose Descriptives with a confidence interval, which many of you have learned or will be learning about. If you click on Plots, this is important. So if you are assessing distributional shape, as well as whether your distribution approximates a normal distribution, this function will allow you to have access to different ways of assessing that. So if I click on Plots, I can come over here and I can keep a stem and leaf plot if I want. I tend to like histograms better, so I'm going to check histogram. And here in the middle, if you click on Normality Plots with Tests, this is information that you may use in your current or future research and analysis courses to assess, to have some extra tools in order to assess normality of your distribution. So if you click Continue, and then OK, you're going to get a whole lot of information in your output. You'll note that you're going to get a lot more than what's in this basic descriptive statistics box. So you can see that it's running right now. And here we go. So here's your basic summary. You've got 20 scores in your data set. And in this descriptives box, you get the similar things plus a little more that you did in the descriptives. You get your mean, on down to skewness, kurtosis. Here's your variance, your standard deviation, min, max, and range. You also get your interquartile range. You get a median. So you get a lot more information. Just a note, these are hypothesis tests to help you decide whether a distribution is approximately normal or not. There are two that you automatically get by checking the test of normality box when programming Descriptive Statistics Explore. In this video, we won't cover this particular part of the output, but you may later, when you check assumptions for particular tests, use this to make a decision. Down here, you get histograms that we've programmed in. And so you can look at the distributional shape and kind of assess skewness. You might be able to look at this and see kurtosis, that kind of thing. You also get a QQ plot, which is another tool to use in determining whether you have a normal distribution or not. Again, not the function of this video, but note that you can get it with the idea that the closer these dots are to this expected normal line, the more likely your distribution is to approximate a normal distribution. Now, in both of these cases, using Descriptive Statistics Explore as well as basic descriptives function in SPSS, we did this for the single distribution of scores. Now I want to show you very basically how you can do this when you have two groups and you want to get those particular descriptive statistics for each group. So if I go back to our data set and remind us from the first video, we have separated these 10 scores for class 1 and 10 scores for class 2, and that is our grouping variable class. In this case, your basic descriptives does not really do a good job separating your groups up. So we're going to use the Analyze Descriptive Statistics Explore function. And I'm going to go on and reset this so that you can see everything go through fully. We know that we want to have these descriptive statistics for our dependent measure exam scores, so we're going to drop that on over. But we want those descriptive statistics for each class. So we're going to actually take our class variable and drop it into factor list. And basically what this is telling SPSS to do is compute the descriptive statistics on exam scores by class. So we'll go through the same thing. We're going to go to plots. I want histograms, and that's going to give me a histogram for class 1 and class 2, the morning and the afternoon class. And I'll go on and check the normality plots with tests so I have that information as well for each distribution. So we'll click continue, and we'll click OK. It'll move us back to our output window. And now you're going to be able to see that it has separated the 10 in morning class and the 10 in the afternoon class. Also, you see it separated here. So here's morning class and all of the descriptives for that particular group. And then just immediately under it, you have the afternoon class and all of the descriptive statistics associated with that. You get those tests of normality that you may use in your future research and analysis courses. You also get your histograms by class. So here's your histogram for morning class. Here's your histogram for the afternoon class. And then you get the QQ plots for the morning and the afternoon class. And those are the basic ways that you can run descriptive statistics in SPSS.